We have another caller on the line. If you could please state your name and your question, please.
Hey, Amy. This is Matt Hardy. The question I'd like to ask you is...
Are you ready?
What's up, everyone? For WrestleTrivia, I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
And you're watching Wrestling Jeopardy, the ultimate interactive game show where you're the contestant.
I must admit, I believe the odds are stacked against you tonight.
Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. You are 1,000% correct. So let's go to the board now and check out the categories you'll be quizzed on in this episode, starting with Be My Valentine. Our second category this week is Power Couples, followed by Manly Nicknames. And now things are going to be a little bit different here with the fourth and fifth category. Normally we have our member category of the week chosen by the WrestleTrivia Maniacs. However, there was a tie this week. So our fourth category will be Biggest Breakups, followed by our fifth category, which is Wild Weddings. And that sound means it's time for the 200-point jobber round, the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy. I mean, honestly, if you don't answer all 5 of these questions correctly, can you really call yourself a wrestling fan? I hate you! All right, here comes the first clue from Be My Valentine. This wrestler's Valentine's Day card would probably say, "Let me take you to Suplex City." He probably said it multiple times to Sable, who is the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And moving on to the second clue of the jobber round from Power Couples. In Season 1 of WWE's Mixed Match Challenge, this couple competed under the team name Glowing since day one-ish. I gotta give it to him, that's a pretty cute name, but my personal favorite from that Season 1 was Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair, who were called the Robe Warriors. But the correct answer here, who is Jimmy Uso and Naomi? And we're on to the third clue of the jobber round. What is Greg Valentine's manly nickname? Now there's a backstory to go along with the picture here of Greg the Hammer Valentine. I used to have one of these big wrestling like history books and would have all these pictures of the wrestlers. And that's the picture they chose of Greg Valentine. So basically growing up, whenever I would flip through the pages and go through that book, Greg's hammer would basically be right in my face.
Great, come back here.
And that brings us to the fourth clue of the jobber round from Biggest Breakups. When this wrestler found out about Lita's affair with Edge, he made the whole thing public, going to the World Wide Web and airing out all their dirty laundry. And of course, you may recall the opening clip of this episode from Bite This. The correct answer is Matt Hardy. And let's close out the jobber round with this clue from Wild Weddings. Eric Bischoff fooled everyone when he was revealed as the minister during this tag team's commitment ceremony. And that's Billy and Chuck. All right, hopefully you got those all right. If you didn't, well,
We are through!
here comes the first clue of the 400-point round. This wrestler's Valentine's Day card would probably say, "I fell for you out of nowhere." They don't call him the Viper for nothing. Who is Randy Orton? And we're on to the 400-point clue from Power Couples. Given their accomplishments both in and out of WWE, this It couple has done enough to become must-see TV. Who is The Miz and Maurice? Moving on to the next clue, worth 400 points. What is Harley Race's manly nickname? Now, some of you may have said the king, but unfortunately, can't accept that. The answer we're looking for, what is handsome? And that brings us to the 400-point clue from Biggest Breakups. Seeing John Cena and Nikki Bella split up a year after getting engaged at this WrestleMania led to plenty of emotion from the WWE Universe. I cried, you cried, we all cried at WrestleMania 33. And let's finish up the 400-point round with this clue from Wild Weddings. Stephanie McMahon has been involved in this many televised wrestling wedding ceremonies. And the correct answer is 4. We had the unholy matrimony with The Undertaker, followed by her wedding to Test, which was interrupted by Triple H. And the fourth one was her and Triple H once again, and unfortunately they got a divorce. I hope you're feeling the love so far this episode. I know I am, and speaking of that, I want to show some love to these channels, specifically the 3D Wrestling Podcast with Daniel, Dre, and Duran. The wrestling show After Dark featuring Ryan, Sleazy, Deets and Heavy, Julius Beefcake, and Z Blaze. These 3 channels have been doing Wrestling Jeopardy reaction videos for God knows how long. I certainly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for doing it. And as Brother Love would say, all right, let's start off the 600-point round with another clue from Be My Valentine. This wrestler's Valentine's Day card would probably say, "You're my shucky ducky." Now, I really could have given it away if I said, "You're my shucky ducky sucker." But I didn't. The correct answer, who is Booker T? And that brings us to another clue from Power Couples. This one is worth 600 points. Shortly after Cody and Brandi Rhodes tied the knot in September 2013, she returned to WWE and resumed her role as a ring announcer under this name. And she was called Eden Styles, or Eden. If you said Eden, if you got that, you get credit. Moving on to the third clue of the 600-point round. What is Ronnie Garvin's late 80s WWF manly nickname? No, it wasn't the man with the hands of stone. It was Rugged Ronnie Garvin. We're on to more Biggest Breakups for 600. Considered to be AEW's power couple after Cody and Brandi left the promotion, this couple's storybook relationship ended in 2024. I don't know. Did she cheat? She said she didn't. Beats me, baby. The correct answer, who is Adam Cole and Britt Baker. Here comes the final clue of the 600-point round from Wild Weddings. One of the strangest scenes ever witnessed during a WWE wedding is the visual of Dawn Marie and this elderly gentleman getting married in nothing but their underwear. And the answer, who is Al Wilson? Alright, don't expect any freebies in the 800-point round. These questions are tough. You need to be on your A game.
Well, best of luck to you, I guess.
Starting off with Be My Valentine, this wrestler's Valentine's Day card would probably say, "You're a knockout." I gotta do it. Well, who is the Big Show? We're on to the 800-point clue from Power Couples. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch faced Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans in a winner-takes-all mixed tag team match at this 2019 pay-per-view. And that would be Extreme Rules. And let's move on to the 800-point clue from Manly Nicknames. And there it is, this week's Daily Double. I'm sure so far that you have a buttload of points, but are you really going to wager a lot here? You're going to play it safe? We're close to Final Jeopardy. What are you going to do? All right, time is up. Here's this episode's Daily Double clue. What was Joel Gertner's manly nickname? Well, if you were a fan of ECW back in the day, then I'm sure you remember the quintessential stud muffin. I can't really say any of his other quotes.
I am dripping with sarcasm as your girlfriend.
On to some more of the biggest breakups in wrestling history, this one worth 800 points. On March 11th, 2024, TMZ broke the unfortunate news that this couple was separating after over 7 years of marriage. And that would be Rusev and Lana. And let's close out the 800-point round with this clue from Wildest Weddings. This four-man R&B group brought their special soulful sound to SmackDown in 2007 when they performed at the wedding of general manager Theodore Long and Crystal. I remember this back in the day. Jeff Hardy was getting down like this to the song Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge.
Hey, Oos, please hit my music.
If you think you're a wrestling aficionado, these 5 questions will put your knowledge where?
I do not know, King!
To the test. Yeah. Here comes the final clue from Be My Valentine. This wrestler's Valentine's Day card would probably say, "Crazy for you." Who is Dean Ambrose? Moving on to the final clue from Power Couples. This couple celebrated Halloween in 2020 by recreating Michael Jackson's Thriller music video. The correct answer, who is Bianca Belair and Montez Ford? All right, 3 clues left. What was the name of Robert Fuller's manly nickname? Now, according to Missy Hyatt in her autobiography, the reason Robert Fuller was called the Tennessee Stud is because many considered him to have the largest in wrestling. I think we need to move on to the next question. And that question is from Biggest Breakups. In 2009, a TNA employee anonymously called into this radio show and exposed that Karen and Kurt Angle had separated and she was now living with Jeff Jarrett. I don't know who the bigger scumbag is, Hulk Hogan, or the correct answer here, who is Bubba the Love Sponge? And let's close out the board with the final clue, this one worth 1,000 points from Wild Weddings. On season 3 of NXT, Oksana and Goldust were officially married by this ordained minister and WWE Hall of Famer. And the correct answer here, who is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase? Alright, don't go anywhere. It's Final Jeopardy time. Let's find out what this episode's Final Jeopardy category is. I'm sorry, I love you. One of the most emotional moments in wrestling history is when Shawn Michaels said these words to Ric Flair before he super kicked him in the face and sent him into retirement. But There have been other times when these words have been mentioned.
Get out of your mind!
Think about that and place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here is the final Jeopardy clue. R-Truth recreated this iconic moment on the January 1st, 2024 episode of Raw before hitting this member of the Judgment Day. Was it A, Damian Priest, B, Dominic Mysterio, C, Finn Balor, or D, JD McDonough? Good luck. And our national treasure, R-Truth, said these words right before hitting JD McDonough's head, which is like an orange on a toothpick. And that does it for another episode of Wrestling Jeopardy. My name is Kevin J. Callis, and I'll see you next time.